The change is going to happen, my gorgeous Libra, at the moment in time when you decide to take a risk right at the beginning of this week. You are going to become so ridiculously curious about something that you've learned not that long ago. And what you're going to become so curious about, it's ever so important for you to understand that this is a lot to do with what exactly you should be doing at this stage of your spiritual journey. Why? Because that in itself is going to make you aware of, like, also how spiritually stuck you actually were over the last 6 to 7 months. This in itself is also going to open your eyes and make you aware of the fact, why did you have problems lately when you would start something new? And that in itself is also going to make you aware of what exactly do you need to let go of, in terms of like letting go of like a bad and old ideas as well. Someone very, very powerful, someone very significant is gonna be directly responsible here for you remembering some kind of absolutely super wise advice. You will remember some kind of a wise advice. It's going to be on your mind like persistently throughout this week. And whether you've been told this wise advice directly, or you were just listening to someone, or you, through the power of synchronicity, you overheard some kind of conversation, but most importantly, this was, my gorgeous Libra, your message. But you are somehow going to remember a really, really wise advice that you became aware of, which is going to bring so much more clarity at this moment in time and realization that now it's really time to basically pay attention to this kind of like a new project coming in. And this new project which is coming in, it's going to basically also be a moment in time where you are really going to make like a huge step towards your dream. And this, you need to understand that you are going through some kind of a mental recovery. There is something that happened to you like within the last year. It affected you so badly, my gorgeous Libra. It was like some kind of a very dark tower that affected you so much, and you're still affected by it right now. And this dark tower that happened to you is just made you think in a negative way, and it made you scared of starting new things, or maybe making a really big steps in your life, because this in itself is ever so important for you to understand, because it's a lot to do with the spiritual evolution you're going through and your own understanding. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Libra, you are really going to, how you're gonna feel. You're just going to have enough of those things that have been making you feel so negative, and enough of those things that have come to an end in your lives. What is actually going to happen at around the midweek, you're going to strongly feel how much do you want to move, how much do you want to move forward with your life. But that in itself is going to make you aware of the fact that you are really going to need to leave your comfort zone. And the moment in time you become aware of what this comfort zone is, you need to understand that this is the moment in time when you're going to elevate yourself spiritually, and you're going to start to gather so many different parts of the picture of your life. And this is when things are going to start becoming very interesting for you indeed, because that is going to be a very, very wise choice for you right now. This in itself, it's going to make you, what you need to understand is, like, when you become aware of like choosing to move forward, when you become aware of the fact that you need to leave your comfort zone, how you're gonna feel. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. This is so important what I'm gonna say now. It's so important, my gorgeous Libra, because you're gonna feel like, oh yeah, I'll do this next month, or yeah, I'll do this in 2 months time, or I'll do this like in June or something. No baby, no. No baby, no. None of this is going to work if you don't act now. You need to put your foot down. Okay, you need to take over the leadership of your own life. So you need to understand that now, as soon as you become aware of that wise choice, you need to make the most of this wonderful and rather magical energy, because it's going to keep you going at the time when you wouldn't want to go. And it's going to also, at the same time, you need to understand that now it's time to act rather than wait. You need to act rather than wait, and that in itself, it's really going to make you aware even further how obstructed and how restricted you actually were. What this is going to really kind of help you to remain centered. It's going to also help you at the same time to notice subtle changes, and once you notice subtle changes that you didn't notice before, you didn't give a credit to yourself. And this is ever so important, my gorgeous Libra, when it comes to that balance, because if you ignore those amazing things that you have done so far, it's very easy to go into this depressed stage, because you have to acknowledge amazing things about you, and you have to acknowledge amazing things that you have done. So this is a perfect time, my gorgeous Libra, to reflect on things that you've achieved over the last 3 or 4 years, and now it's time to mix and blend and to create something new. So this is all going to help you to remain centered, to remain grounded. By remaining centered and grounded, you are going to notice subtle changes, and it's ever so important to do so, because that in itself, it's really going to make you aware of a huge, a massive, enormous life change. It's coming up. And you need to accept this enormous, huge, massive life change coming up. You need to accept this, regardless where you are at your spiritual journey, because this is all going to help you to realize, oh my God, it's like massive, enormous, huge, giant change. It's going to come up, and this is only the beginning. But you need to accept this life challenge. It's more like a life change, a huge life change, but it's like a life challenge, like a huge, massive life challenge, which is slash change basically. So this is like, oh my God. So I should have said basically, accept life challenge, like a huge life challenge that it's going to make you aware of the life challenge, massive life challenge that you actually need to accept. Okay, so this is why this is actually going to be ever so important, my gorgeous Libra, indeed. And also when it comes to the midweek, oh my goodness, please, there is somebody who is like, my God, so close to you, directly connected to you, this person, whether it's either your amazing friend or it's like a family member, but that person is somebody very close to you, very important to you, somebody who you really love, whether this is a family member, whether this is a friend, whether this is your partner. That particular person is going to do something odd, something very strange, something really bizarre, and you will know this is a cry for help. You will know that this is a cry for help. And I don't need to tell you who this is, but that particular person really needs your help, because somebody is being completely misled. Like maybe that person is doing a bit of like a drugs, or maybe that person is doing some kind of illegal substances or something like that. But at the very dark stage this person has entered, and it's not that person's fault at all. This is a very beautiful, gorgeous person in your life, but it's been misled really terribly by somebody else who is like super naughty, super bad, super negative. And this person is going to do something completely odd, completely out of blue, and you will know that this is a cry for help. And I am talking about a life and death here. How important your impact is going to be. For the love of God, you need to step through, you need to step forward, because you do know what is going on with this person, and you do have some kind of connection to that experience for some reason. Maybe you've done this in your past, or you've been surrounded by the people who were doing something really bad to themselves, but somehow you are connected to this experience. And you will know exactly what to do and what to say. And it's like that person, as we speak, the things are getting worse and worse with that person, like losing themselves in the world of darkness, purely because they were misled on the very, very dangerous path. And this is not some like junkie or someone, please don't get me wrong, I shouldn't even use that word junkie, do you know what I mean? But it's not someone like that, it's someone wonderful, someone beautiful, someone gorgeous, someone well capable of so many things in this world, in this life, you know, somebody very clever, you know, but it's just, you know, sometimes, you know, we all need a little bit of help. And this is why our roles are very special when it comes to those people who are very special to us, to our lives as well. Like, oh my goodness, my gorgeous Libra, please do try to kind of step forward as soon as you possibly can to help to this wonderful person. That would be absolutely brilliant indeed, okay? And also, by the time you get to the last part of this week, it's like, oh my goodness, my gorgeous Libra, yet again, the people are going to play an important role when it comes to your life. And this doesn't surprise me, because you're so gorgeous in so many different ways, my gorgeous Libra, indeed. So the last part of this week, you know, I'm gonna say, you're like almost like a little ice queen when it comes to this, you know, like you've been like a little ice queen, but not because you were cold or anything like that, only because so much was happening in your life and you didn't notice this beautiful person, this really gorgeous person around you. Somebody was around you all this time. I'm not saying that you didn't notice this person, but it's just you didn't notice what a beautiful impact this person in your life has. Maybe it's not person who is like kind of directly connected to you, but you are like not an immediate family member or not one of the best friends, for example, but you are going to notice someone very, very special at the end of this week. Very special person indeed. And at that moment in time, you're gonna go so soft and so emotional and so mellow, and you're really going to like this person so much. But this in itself, it's also going to trigger something within you. It's going to trigger how much you miss certain things in life. It's going to give you little ideas what you also want to explore and try because of that person. And also it's going to kind of start the process of your own transformation. And that in itself, it's really kind of going to, when you notice that special person, you are going to feel really happy. You are going to feel very creative. And then you are also going to have this very much so a rather intuitive message, psychic message, which is going to kind of make you aware of what exactly you should do at this point in your life in order to nurture your soul, in order to nurture your spirit. Because you are gonna feel deeply moved, and that in itself is gonna make you feel extremely enthusiastic, my gorgeous Libra, especially when it comes to you choosing to empower yourself. And you by choosing to empower yourself, you're gonna realize, you know, how much it's time for you to change direction, to become better. And you're also at the same time, this is going to help you to open your eyes and see the good in absolutely everything. Something is going to be triggered within you that has never been triggered before, and it's also going to help you to kind of see the bigger picture about yourself, about your life. And it's also going to help you to open up to the point where you're going to start realizing so much. There is so much around you to do. There is so much to explore. There is so much to kind of tap into, you know, in so many different ways. And most importantly, it's going to lead towards the whole world of untapped potential within you. But this is going to be absolutely brilliant in so many different ways indeed. Okay, my gorgeous Libra, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.